Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio, and today, I am personally delighted, because we've got a new Bewear card to talk about. And you see, Bewear's a weird one, because we got one in Sun and Moon, the first set, and then we got one in Guardians Rising, the second Sun and Moon set. Then we got one in Burning Shadows, the third Sun and Moon set. Then we got one in Crimson Invasion, the fourth Sun and Moon set. And I love me some Bewear, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sitting there going, this is wonderful. We're going to get a Bewear in every Sun and Moon set. Yeah, that was the last Bewear we got. And we got Bewear in Sun and Moon 1, 2, 3, and 4. And Bewear is coming back for our numbering in Sun and Moon 12. Cool, I suppose. But he's back now, ladies and gentlemen, so let's just be happy that he's back. Our translation today comes from lovely Joe over at Cerebi.net. And if we start off having a little bit of a look at the basics here, we see he's got 120 HP. Now, 120 HP, as I've explained in a number of videos, is actually kind of annoying because there are a whole bunch of Pokemon that hit 120 damage. Something like Silvally GX as a nice little example. It's not ideal. There are a lot of Pokemon that hit a natural 120. Having 130 HP would be way better. And you're weak to fighting. And weakness to fighting is rubbish, because Pikachu and Zekrom is running around everywhere at the moment. It's weak to fighting. A lot of people are playing fighting to counter that. The one saving grace is that given you've got 120 HP, a Buzzwole with 1 energy and a Diancie Prism Star will only hit 100 and won't actually get a KO here, so could be worse. Retreat cost of 2, well, we'll get to the ability in a minute, but retreat cost of 2 is not ideal, but doesn't really matter. And being a colourless Pokemon is a bit like, okay, cool, you're colourless, I suppose. Doesn't really give you many advantages. So, that ability that I mentioned, according to the lovely Joe, as long as this Pokemon is on your bench, your active Pokemon's retreat cost is reduced by 2. Cool. This just helps you retreat your Pokemon way more easily. It reduces your active Pokemon's retreat cost by 2. That's really good, ladies and gentlemen. Now, it is a stage 1, admittedly, and it's got to be sitting there on your bench. But I don't really care. This is really good. I mean, look, a little while ago we had Floatstone. And Floatstone meant that you could retreat anything for free. And we had Fairy Garden, which meant you could just attach a Fairy Energy and you could retreat it for free. And to be fair, we recently found out at least, we're going to be getting Night City, which gives free retreat to basic Darkness Pokemon. But if you just want general free retreat, yeah, it's not there. Now look, I'm not saying that Bewear gives you free retreat. I indeed explicitly told you it reduces your retreat cost by 2. However, don't forget we've got Escape Board and U-Turn Board. Escape Board lets you reduce your retreat cost by 1, while also allowing you to retreat when you are asleep or paralysed. And U-Turn Board reduces your retreat cost by 1, and if it is discarded from the field, i.e. not your hand, it goes back to your hand. It's awesome. And now, we can actually combine Bewear with one of these to give ourselves actual free retreat up to a retreat cost of 3. And bearing in mind, retreat costs only go up to 4. And the great thing is that when you hit retreat cost of 4, okay, you're not getting free retreat anymore, but you do get buff padding and you do get to search yourself out with Pokemaniac, so it's actually kind of nice. And even if you do have a retreat cost of 4, Bewear plus Escape Board, and then you attach a single energy and you go. Here's the thing though. Incineroar specifically says, that's the one that lets you do an extra 30 damage, that you can only apply one of these abilities at a time. It's right there on the card. Bewear does not say that, ladies and gentlemen, at least not according to our translation. So whereas Incineroar literally says you can't apply more than one Strong Cheer ability at a time, that's not the case. So if you get 2 Bewear on the field, every single Pokemon has free retreat. on your side anyway. You can take a Pokemon with a retreat cost of 4, which is as high as it gets, and just retreat it for free. Incidentally, Bewear does not affect itself when it's in the active, but if you've got 2 Bewear out, each Bewear will give the other Bewear free retreat. Because if one's in the active, one must therefore be on the bench. So, you're golden and ready to go. If you want to retreat, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. And I showed you, I want to say yesterday? I think that's the way the schedule's working out for this. Yesterday, I showed you Venusaur and Snivy Tag Team GX. And I said that it's got a rather amazing ability, whereby when you attach a grass energy from your hand to it, you get to drag one of your opponent's bench Pokemon into the active. And I said it would be great to tech into decks if we had a way to retreat it easily. This is your way to retreat it easily. Now, you've got to have either 2 Bewear or 1 Bewear and a U-turn board, for instance. It's not that easy. And to be fair, there is a huge downside, because I also showed you yesterday Great Catcher. And Great Catcher, when you discard 2 cards from your hand, lets you drag one of your opponent's benched EXs or GXs into the active. So Venusaur and Snivy is a massive free prize liability on your bench. Not to mention that it's got weakness to the best deck in the format, Reshiram and Charizard. So it's not perfect, but if you want to use that for the ability, you now have an option. It's there. And then we've got hit and run decks. Hit and run decks, what you really want to do is hit with something, I don't know, Hitmonchan's a nice example, and then put a wall Pokemon into the active, something that can take a hit or 2. So maybe you want to put something like Magikarp and Wailord in the active, because that can take quite a few hits. Well, the problem is it's got a retreat cost of 4, so it's hard to retreat. Now, this could work. I'm not saying every hit and run deck is going to start playing multiple Bewear, but I am saying that hit and run decks in Expanded are way better because you got Floatstone, and you can use whatever wall you want in free retreat. Well, now Bewear is giving whatever wall you want free retreat. Whatever Pokemon it is that you want to stick in the active to stop your opponent doing very much, yeah, Bewear's got your back in terms of getting it out. Tech Pokemon, Pokemon you start with, Pokemon you want to use the ability and get out the active, wall Pokemon in a hit and run deck, all of them benefit from Bewear. Look how good Jirachi is, because you can free retreat it using a skateboard. And now imagine that every single Pokemon can now do that, because with Bewear, they basically can. Now, as for the attack, I am not quite so enthused as I might otherwise be. For 3 colourless energy, you do 120 damage. That's good, I like it. Flip a coin. If tails, this attack does nothing. I don't like that very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be honest with you. That got a lot worse. Like, super quickly. I don't like it. Like, at all. Because we're also losing Victini to the rotation, so it's not like you can even give yourself a 75% chance of hitting your heads here. You're going to be stuck at your 50% chance. And look, you got triple acceleration energy. So you can attach this, and this is 1 energy attack, essentially. You attach triple acceleration energy, and you can just do 120 for what is essentially a single energy. That is great, except if you flip a coin and flip tails, nothing happens. Even with Victini, 1 in 4 times, this would do nothing, and I would be quite reticent. But we don't have Victini, ladies and gentlemen. And now I just end up at the point of, hang on a second, can we really afford to do this? And remember, I started the video talking about the difference between 120 and 130. This is on the wrong side of that. This is very much on the wrong side of that. And that makes me sad. It really does. I love me some Bewear, and I adore this ability. I think this ability is great. I don't really know how I feel about the attack. Because if you come across something like a Buzzwole, or a Granbull, or one of the million other Pokemon that have 130 HP, you're not getting the KO. And you're a colourless Pokemon, so you're not hitting anything for weakness, which means you're not going to be taking out anything. If you were a fighting Pokemon, because Bewear can also be a fighting Pokemon, we've only ever had the one from Crimson Invasion, but they are out there. Then you'd be getting a one-hit KO on a Pikachu and Zekrom with this attack, and I'd be going, oh, that's alright. And you'd be getting a one-hit KO on a Dedenne, and I'd be going, oh, that's alright. But hitting 120, not 130, not hitting anything for weakness, and having a 50% chance of it doing nothing, I'm sorry, that actually makes me go, ugh. I don't think it's a good deck. I just don't. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's bad. And it makes me sad to say that, because I love me some Bewear. But please don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this is just the attack. And we're playing this primarily for the ability. So feel free to be sad that the attack's not particularly great, but please do remember that the ability here is redonk. And I do actually expect this to see play. I expect this to be the most played Bewear, because frankly, ladies and gentlemen, the ability here is going to help a whole bunch of decks. So there we go. I really like this Bewear. I'm giving it 4 Wassies purely for the ability. The attack is terrible. I think we're going to see a fair bit of this in a fair bit of decks. But I would very much like to know what you think. So please do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at The Wassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you check it out, youtube.com/WassiePlays, where we talk about a whole bunch of games that don't even have Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.